Hey, folks, good morning. Welcome to Advisory. Happy Tuesday. First off, I want to thank everybody for their responses in my form yesterday about bullying and those 3 questions that I asked you to fill out. I got some very honest and thoughtful responses, and I'm just always so impressed with our students overall. You guys are just cool and awesome, and you make working here really fun. And so I will be answering those questions either tomorrow or the next day in advisory, so be on the lookout for that. And if you are hearing me say thank you for your answers and you're thinking, huh? What? When did we do that? Because you were either absent or maybe your teacher forgot to do advisory that day, then you can always access advisory through Longhorn Country. If you go to Longhorn Country and you go over here to the left where it says advisory, you click that and you go to Q2, which is what we're in right now. You go down to Q2 advisory slides and they're broken down by week. So this week is week 7, 11/27. So you can click on that and it opens the folder with everything that your teacher normally sees when doing advisory slides. And you can see there's one slideshow for each day. So if you ever miss a day and you want to catch up, you can always go to Longhorn Country Advisory and find the day that you want to see. That also goes for when you might have a substitute teacher in your class. You can still see advisory and still participate. Also on this page is a form that you can fill out anytime and give me suggestions on advisory, what sort of things you would like to hear, what went well or could go better in advisory. That's your place to give me feedback anytime, and I check that every week. Finally, if you don't want to see the slides, if you just want to go straight to the YouTube channel, you can click this link and it'll send you straight there. Once again, that's Longhorn Country. Over here to the left is the advisory tab for anytime you want to see advisory. Okay, so like I said, I'll get to those form answers tomorrow, but for today, I wanted us to take a moment to think about our schoolwork over the next 3 weeks. We were out for 9 days total, and I don't know about you, but I'm still getting back in the swing of things. I'm not fully back mentally yet, but we're getting there. So I figured that that might describe some of you as well. And so I wanted to take a moment to intentionally plan the next 3 weeks when it comes to your schoolwork, because it's going to go by like that, and then the semester will be over. And so what we'll talk about today will hopefully make you aware of what to prepare for when it comes down to the last 3 weeks of the semester, including ACPs and finals. I have 3 main tips to give you, and then you're going to work on a planning document in your advisory on your own. So without further ado, this is 3 ways to prepare for ACPs, finals, and the end of the semester. Number 1, do your assignments on time. Doing your assignments on time instead of putting them off until the last minute, especially as we get towards the end of the semester and things get a little crazy, is very, very important. When you do your assignments on time, you understand the material better and at the intended pace. If you let all the assignments pile up, then you're not actually learning the material at the pace that your teacher wants you to learn it or what is best to learn it at. So not getting behind on assignments also helps you understand the overall concepts of the class, which can help you prepare for final exams. If you do your assignments on time, you can spend more time studying for your ACPs and finals and less time trying to play catch up at the last minute. Listen, I can procrastinate with the best of them. I'm very good at it by now. But I also know that if you let things pile up, it's just going to stress you out, which will also affect how you perform on tests and how you do on the assignments that are piling up. So, do your assignments on time so that you can understand the material at the intended pace, and whenever it comes time for finals, you can spend more time studying and less time catching up. Number 2, ask for help. It is so hard for us to ask for help, and I don't know why. I think it's because we don't want to feel like we're doing something wrong or that we're getting anything wrong, but I think it's so important, even if it's uncomfortable or you don't want to look dumb, it's important to ask for help, because otherwise, how are you going to learn it? That's a big part of what we're here to do at school, is ask questions and find the answers. So you have to ask for help, especially on those subjects that you are not as confident in. You should ask questions about what you don't understand, either in the moment in class or later after class. You should go to the scheduled tutoring times that your teacher has, or ask when your teacher is available if their tutoring times don't work for you. Asking for help and going to tutoring is also a great way to get on your teacher's good side. If they see you trying and they see you attempting and asking for specific help, that is going to go a long way with them. Your teachers want to help you, and if you are taking the initiative to go to tutoring or to ask them for help, they're going to remember that. So asking for help, even if it may be uncomfortable or you may not even know what to ask for, but taking a moment to talk to your teacher about your specific concerns can go a long way. And my third tip to finish the semester strong is to do your best to plan ahead. You have to be intentional about what's coming down the line when it comes to classes, deadlines, assignments, and your finals. So you can plan ahead by asking yourself these questions. Which of your finals or ACPs do you expect to have the most trouble with? Some of the classes that you have are much easier for you maybe than others, and so which are the ones that are hardest for you that you really need to focus on and lean into as we finish the year? The end of the semester is not just about ACPs and finals. A lot of the times there are big projects or big assignments due, and so what big projects or deadlines are coming up, and how can you plan ahead for those? It's really easy to, on longer projects, to wait until the last minute to finish them, but you really can't. And so planning ahead means doing your bigger assignments one step at a time instead of trying to cram it all into the night before it's due. And then, of course, we're not only students, we're also people. So we have obligations outside of school that we also need to think about. And so ask yourself, what extracurricular activities may take up your time between now and winter break? Maybe you have games coming up. Maybe you have other stuff with school. Maybe you have a job or other things outside of school that take up a lot of your energy and time. So you want to make sure to factor that in as well as you're thinking about how to finish the year strong. Okay, so to plan well and to do our best to be intentional about the next few weeks of school, I've given you this document, which I'll show you how to access here in just a minute. And it asks you a few questions. These are just for you. You're not turning this in anywhere, but I think it will be helpful to prioritize the big things, those things that will be the big stressors over the next 3 weeks, and think about them. And instead of just letting them happen to you and being surprised by them, you plan ahead and you prepare for it. So the first question asks, which of your classes do you expect to have the most difficulty with finishing well as the semester ends, and why? So you can put a few examples, 3 to 4 is what I can say. You can always add a row if you want to. But I want you to write down 3 or 4 classes that you expect to have the most trouble with, all right? And then write down what is actually going to be hard about finishing it. Is it a big project that's due? Is it the fact that you might be really behind in it right now? What's going to be difficult about finishing that class well? The second question asks to think about all your classes and think about the big projects and deadlines that are coming up over the next few weeks. Not the daily grades, but like the big project or test grades that are coming up. And what do you need to remember about these things? This is a moment for you to take notes about the big projects. Number 3 asks, what ACPs or final exams do you expect to have the most difficulty with? What do you want to do between now and finals week to prepare? And so thinking about just the test alone, hopefully your teachers have started to tell you about what kind of to expect on the final exam or on the ACP. So which of those ACPs or final exams do you think are going to be the most difficult to study for or the most stressful? And be specific about how you want to plan ahead for those as well. And then the last 2 questions are these. Number 4, which of your teachers should you ask for help or tutoring over the next few weeks? Write down their names, maybe write down their tutoring times in this box so you can come back to it and remember, okay, that's when I can talk to them. That's when I can meet with this teacher. But think about which of the teachers you really need to ask for help over the next few days. And then number 5 asks you to focus, instead of the next month, just focusing on this week. What are the things that you need to do this week to help set you up for success over the next few weeks? All right, and that is just for you. Those notes will be just for you and hopefully a place where you can come back to over the next 3 weeks to help keep you focused on the tasks at hand. All right, and to access that document, you can have it in English o español también. You can use these QR codes and these bit.lys. Make sure to type them in exactly. When you go to either one of those links, this is what you'll see, and you'll just click Make a Copy, and it will create your own copy of this document that you can use and type on however much you want. So go ahead and go to that next slide. Think intentionally about the next few weeks, and I hope this is helpful to you. Be good to yourself and others, and I'll see you real soon.